November 26 will signal the end of Chancellor Angela Merkel's 16 years in power. It is the most open race in decades. The lead position is the polls has shifted between three main parties: Merkel's center-right Christian Democratic Union, the Greens, and the center-left Social Democratic Party. I've now been joined on Zoom by broadcast journalist Michael, who's with DWTV in Germany. Hello, welcome to the World to the Michael.
Thanks for having me.
Great. Now, tell us, I would want to ask you how this election will affect the entire world, because this is Europe's biggest economy. But first of all, let's start. The names. Three main names have come up. Who are these people?
Yeah. So as you rightly said in your introduction, we've got, there are several candidates in this election, but the three main contenders are Armin Laschet of the CDU, the Christian Democratic Union, and we also have Olaf Scholz of the SPD, and then Social Democratic Party, and then we also have Annalena Baerbock of the Greens. So these are the three main contenders, and these are the people that people in Ghana watching the German election should keep an eye on.
And so this election has been touted as the most open elections ever held in Germany. What does it mean?
Well, it means that since April, May this year, who is in the lead in the polls has shifted within all the three political parties. So it started with the CDU, the Greens have had their spot at the top, and currently the SPD is at the top. There isn't a clear-cut favorite in this election. That's why people continue to look at the polls and what the numbers are saying. In the past, when we had Angela Merkel, it was close to impossible to think that some other chancellor candidate would be chosen over Angela Merkel. But now that she's stepping down, there is the opportunity for new faces to enter the German government and to be selected as the next chancellor. But I also think that it's important for us to break down the German election so that those of who are watching can understand, because there are some differences to the Ghanaian election. Whereas, for instance, in Ghana, people vote directly for the NPP's candidate or the NDC's candidate. That is John Mahama or Nana Akufo-Addo. Here in Germany, in this election, people are not voting for the chancellor. They are voting for the parties to go into parliament. Once the parties go into parliament, they decide who amongst them becomes the next chancellor.
All right, let me ask you this quick one there. It says Armin Laschet is 60 years old, and he's the leader of Merkel's Christian Democratic Union and also the premier of Germany's most populous state, North Rhine-Westphalia. We know that just some days ago, Angela Merkel was with him on a campaign. How will this affect the elections coming Sunday?
Interesting point, because I'm currently in North Rhine-Westphalia. Armin Laschet has been the Prime Minister of this region for quite a while now. And last week I was in Armin Laschet's birth hometown, and I've been speaking to lots of people in the place where he was born. Surprisingly, it doesn't look like Angela Merkel's campaign for Armin Laschet has done a lot for him in this election. On the ground in Aachen, where he was born, Armin Laschet isn't as popular as you would expect of someone who was born in an area who is contesting to become the next chancellor of Germany. And Merkel had to step in because the CDU realized that they had to probably bring in the Merkel factor if they were going to put in a one last push towards the elections this Sunday. But as I said, the polls are showing that despite Merkel's help in this election, the CDU is still trailing behind the SPD's candidate, Olaf Scholz.
So Annalena is also coming with an interesting one here. She's the first candidate for the Green Party. What are her chances?
Well, Germany is at a point right now where people are concerned about the environment. A few months ago in July, there was a massive rainfall and flooding again here in North Rhine-Westphalia. And there are several people who lost their lives. And this brought to the center and to the top of the minds of people in Germany that climate change is real and the effects of climate change is real. And the dilly-dallying when it comes to policies and programs that would address climate change has to stop. So in this election, people are looking for a government that will take climate protection and environmental protection seriously. And that is where the Greens come in. Annalena Baerbock is promising to take drastic steps that would ensure that climate change is mitigated here in Germany. However, what works against her is that she hasn't held any political office prior to this election. So people are a bit concerned about whether or not she's the right person to handle a country such as Germany, because she has no prior political office experience. And that is what goes against her. And also there's also the scandal that she's been embroiled with in. There have been allegations that she, in her PhD thesis, she plagiarized. And that's something that also some people hold against her. But she's not the only one, right, who has been hit with scandals in this election. Olaf Scholz, who is on the screen at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about him later.
We'll talk about him, sure.
He has been quite loud, not to catch you, but he has been quite loud. We saw his performance during the last debate that was held. He's really defensive.
Yeah.
He's sure that he can do the work and send Germany to another level. Tell me more about him.
He is very confident. The polls are showing it. It looks like people in Germany at this time are saying that he's the right person to lead this country. And it's a combination of factors. He's currently the deputy chancellor here in Germany. He was also the mayor of Hamburg. He's been a finance minister in Germany. And generally, he comes across as someone who is very serious, very meticulous, and who is going to take this job seriously. And this is what I think endears many people in Germany to him. They look at him and he's got the right combination of political experience, work experience as a deputy chancellor, and also representing a new kind of politics, because although Chancellor Merkel has been around for 16 years, that has also sort of tired people. People have had a government dominated by the CDU for the last 16 years. So people are looking for a different kind of politics. And he, at this point, represents that new face and also has the right amount of experience that they think will be crucial for leading this country to the next decade.
I know someone will be asking, why are we even doing it in the first place? Now, how does other African countries or other countries in Europe get to benefit from this election? How do they get affected by who becomes Chancellor of Germany? Germany is the biggest economy for Europe.
Indeed it is. And it's not just countries in Europe who would be affected by the outcome of this election. Countries in Africa, Ghana, for instance, is going to be affected because one example would be the Compact with Africa, which was a program initiated by Chancellor Angela Merkel that was supposed to help create cooperation between Germany and African countries. Now, whoever becomes the next Chancellor can either decide to increase the impact of this program or discontinue it. In that sense, whoever becomes the next chancellor could have an impact as far as in Ghana. So people are watching this election because the policies and programs of Germany for the next couple of years is going to be determined by who is in the government after this Sunday. So it's a really crucial election. Not to also forget about the trade relations that exist between Germany and all other countries around the world, and also all of the cooperation that exists with Germany and all of the other countries. So there's a lot of people watching this because there's going to be a huge impact. The ramifications are huge for the rest of the world after Sunday.
Michael, you have been touring almost the whole of Germany, reporting on the elections that will happen on Sunday. Tell me, what is general euphoria in the country?
When you talk about euphoria, I think about the elections in Ghana, and at this time there would be people who were driving around with party paraphernalia. You don't see that here in Germany, but when you watch the televisions, you will not miss the fact that elections are coming up. There are posters all over the country, and people on the ground that I've been talking to are concerned about whether or not the next government is going to take issues like climate change seriously. Germany has been discussing phasing out coal, which is a major part of the energy mix here in Germany, by 2030. But some people believe that it is too late, given what's been happening to the climate, and especially here in Germany, what's been happening. They want drastic steps that can be taken within a very short time to ensure that the effects of climate change are mitigated. And this is what people are concerned about. People are really concerned about the environment. People are also concerned about pensions. Olaf Scholz is promising to increase the minimum wage. This is also something that people are concerned about. But having said all of this, there is still a large chunk of people in Germany here who are still undecided. And the elections are just this Sunday. So what we call the undecided vote could be very critical in this upcoming election. But on the ground, there are lots of people who are watching this closely. They want somebody who is competent. They want somebody who would lead this country and increase the attention that this nation pays to the environment. And that is something that is going to be really critical as people vote this Sunday.
So 60 years of Angela Merkel as Chancellor of Germany, how big of a shoe is she leaving behind?
It's huge. It's huge. Since she took over the chancellorship in 2005, she has become this iconic leader globally. She's become the gold standard, and whoever becomes the next chancellor will be definitely Angela Merkel will be used as the standard, and they will be judged by that standard. She steered this country through the 2008 financial crisis. She steered this country through the 2015 migrant crisis. She steered this country through the coronavirus pandemic, and she's done a fantastic job at this. And this is what people are looking out for. This is what people are looking at. Who is going to be the right person to step into these shoes? The CDU, which is Angela Merkel's party, thought that was going to be Armin Laschet. And so they selected him to replace Angela Merkel, but it is not working out for him. And as I mentioned earlier, although Merkel has tried to push him up in the polls, it is still not working. The shoes that have to be filled, it doesn't look like Armin Laschet is going to be the right one to fill them. At least that is what the polls are saying.
One very last question before I let you go. Now, the undecided, what are they waiting for? What one thing are they looking out for them to go to the polls and cast their ballot for any of these three leading contestants?
It is hard to say. It is hard to say why they are undecided at this point. But in every election, I'm sure even in the Ghanaian election, there are always those who are waiting to the last minute to make up their mind. I have interacted with lots of people who have told me exactly this, that they are still looking at the debates and they are still looking at what the candidates are saying, their manifestos, what is in it for them, and then they'll make up their mind at the last minute. And this is also a very crucial time for the candidates. The last couple of days can be really crucial. You don't want to make any slips. You don't want to make any avoidable mistakes. So there are lots of people out there who are still watching. So although Olaf Scholz might be in the lead, one slip at this time could be catastrophic for him. But he's an experienced politician. He's been in the German government for several years, and I don't think that he's going to make any rookie mistakes at this time.
All right. Thank you so much, Michael, for your time here with us on The World Today. We are grateful. We'll come back to you before, during, and after the elections in Germany. Thank you so much. We're grateful.
Thanks for having me.
Great. So Michael Oti is a broadcast journalist with DWTV in Germany. This is The World Today. We are back from the